Right now, though, we're going to turn to the state capitol, where today Governor Kathy Hochul unveiled her budget proposal. This starts the tedious and months-long process of coming up with a spending plan that can get approval from the Assembly, the Senate, and the governor. It's supposed to be done by April 1st, though it's often late. The headline number here, it's a $260 billion proposal, an increase of $6 billion over what got approved last year. The governor says the small percentage increase is to make up for federal cuts to health care. Now, a big focus in this latest budget is on child care, with new funding to expand pre-K across the state and to fully fund the first 2 years of universal coverage for 2-year-olds in New York City.
When I took office, the state of New York was spending about $832 million a year in child care subsidies, nowhere near enough to meet the needs of working families. As New York's first mom governor, this is personal to me. Since taking office, through sustained and deliberate investment, New York has spent more than $8 billion on child care and early education.
Republican State Assemblyman Joe Sempolinski, who represents Cattaraugus and Allegheny counties, captured the sentiment of many in the GOP, saying that the governor's $260 billion budget overspends and, quote, will only make New York a harder place to live, to work, to raise a family, and do business. Joining us live tonight from Albany is Jack O'Donnell, managing partner at O'Donnell and Associates, who keeps a very close eye on all of this. Jack, it's great to get your insight here. I want to ask you about child care in a moment, because that really stood out to me today, and there's some controversy surrounding it. But first, big picture, this budget is a little more than last year, not a lot percentage-wise, but it is making up from some changes that we got from Washington, D.C. What should we make of the top-line number?
Well, it's a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it may only be a few percentage points, as you mentioned, but it's still another $6 billion, which, a billion here, a billion there, soon you're talking real money. But, I think a big part of what the governor was focused on here, when you look at these top line numbers, are cuts that are coming from Washington, right? They're anticipating about $10 billion in cuts already. And then we've heard different things from the president. So we don't know whether that'll go even higher. So, although it's only an extra $6 billion overall top number, we do see a significant increase in state spending to make up for that decrease in federal dollars being spent.
And oftentimes the legislature will add to the total that is recommended by the governor, so the number could go even higher. In terms of child care, there has been certainly controversy here, because there is a certain allotment of money going to fund universal sort of pre-K, but for 2-year-olds only in New York City, while also expanding options in other ways statewide. How should we read that, and do we think there is enough support for that to all get over the finish line?
Well, certainly. I mean, I look, the governor also talked about expanding the universal pre-K, but that's not going to fully go in until 2028. So I think, as much as those of us in Western New York are always very cautious about seeing dollars being spent downstate, I think that really reflects that the new mayor of New York City has a program and is focused on this, just like the mayor before him, or 2 mayors before him, was focused on the universal pre-K, right? So I think New York City has just been a lot more focused on this. Now, the governor did talk about some pilots for places in upstate that are ready and interested in doing that. But it is a lot of money, and it's something that I think we need to be concerned about. But there is broad support for this in the New York State legislature. It's going to happen.
Finally, Jack, it's interesting. Zohran Mamdani, the new mayor of New York City, who you mentioned there, a lot of progressives here in the state of New York are pushing to raise taxes on the richest New Yorkers. Governor Hochul did not propose that in her budget today. Are there going to be fights over that as the legislature takes a look at all this?
Well, of course there'll be fights. It's Albany, it's New York. But I think, what the governor talked about today is that someone else is going to pay for it, or we're all going to pay for it through Wall Street, right? Mentioned that Wall Street, money coming from Wall Street looks to be another $17 billion over the next 2 years. The state is just taking in a lot of money from these richest New Yorkers already. And so I think they're going to pay for it. But you're still going to hear the progressives say they should pay more.
Yeah, Wall Street bonuses just going up and up, and New York State makes money off that. And again, just to reiterate, a lot of Republicans out with statements today saying, here we go, $260 billion, another increase. And as you mentioned, it's a lot of money. Jack O'Donnell, thanks so much for joining us. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.